Vladimir Putin continues to escalate the war in Ukraine. He's now threatening to expand his list of targets if the United States sends the Ukrainians long-range missiles.
Russian nuclear forces have reportedly been holding drills near Moscow. That's ignited fears that Putin might follow through on a previous threat to use nuclear weapons. Dale Hurd reports on this nightmare scenario.
This is a simulation of a full-scale nuclear war between Russia and NATO. Casualties mount at a rate of 10 million people per hour.
4 hours. 5 hours.
A Princeton University simulation estimated more than 90 million immediate casualties. Some studies have placed total casualties in the hundreds of millions. Then there would be a nuclear winter for weeks or months or even years, when clouds of soot block sunlight, creating subfreezing temperatures which, along with high radiation levels, would lead to even more deaths. What was once unthinkable is now regularly debated on Russian state TV, using nuclear weapons against Ukraine, NATO, or even against U.S. territory. This Russian parliament member says it would only take 4 nuclear missiles to destroy both coasts of the United States. This journalist says if Russia loses in Ukraine, a nuclear strike seems probable. But is this just theater intended to scare the West? Would Vladimir Putin actually resort to nuclear weapons? Experts disagree. But what is disturbing is that some think he would. Rebecca Koffler, born in the Soviet Union and a former intelligence official for the U.S. government, is the author of Putin's Playbook. She says Vladimir Putin would absolutely use a nuclear weapon.
This type of conflict is exactly the type of situation for which Putin, on his orders, the so-called nuclear warfare doctrine was developed that was called escalate to de-escalate. You're escalating by popping a nuke in a conventional conflict, in this case of Ukraine, in order to de-escalate the conflict. And if Russian intelligence services assess accurately or by mistake that the US and NATO are about to intervene, Putin preemptively would activate that doctrine.
Koffler says Putin believes he has the upper hand because of his large arsenal of small tactical nuclear weapons, intended to destroy battlefield targets rather than whole regions.
Russia holds advantage in tactical nukes, 1 to 10 ratio. We have 200, the Russians have 2,000.
Some have speculated that if Putin orders a nuclear strike, his staff might disobey the order, triggering a coup. Koffler says that won't happen.
This is such a Western and American style thinking. Nobody is going to refuse Putin's orders. We're talking about the person who has authorized multiple assassinations.
While some experts say that Putin would never risk a nuclear war that could also destroy Russia, others warn that with Vladimir Putin, nothing can be ruled out. Dale Hurd, CBN News.
Well, yet another thing to keep us up at night, to say what in the world is going on? Why would you escalate a so-called war of liberation by using tactical nuclear weapons over the very country you're saying should be part of Russia? You're creating a nuclear wasteland. Why would any sane person do that? But at the same time, why would any sane person invade? Wouldn't it be better to have friendship with Ukraine and say, we're all brothers in this, and how can we help you with whatever problems you have, and let's be friends? That would have been the better course, but we're now way past that. And it looks like Russian forces are losing ground instead of gaining ground. An easy victory in Ukraine is now far away. And as this war continues to escalate, the whole world is now on edge as to what will happen. Will Russia ever use its nuclear arsenal, either on a tactical basis or on a full-scale World War III basis? This is something, please pray for. Please pray that there would be a leadership change in Russia. I don't think anyone would ever trust negotiating with Putin. Anyone would trust a Russia going forward with him still in charge. So we need to pray, and we need to pray now.